Is this thing on? Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then go ahead and hit subscribe. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cost you any money. Just go ahead and do it down there. And then if you want to get notified every time I go live, then go ahead and hit the notification bell too. That way you can get notified every time I upload a video. Just a disclaimer though, I am like super sick, so if I sound very nasally, that's why. And also, the foundation around my nose started coming off halfway through the video, so I had to like pause and like redo that real quick. But we're popping. Like, just because I'm sick don't mean that I can't be here and be alive and like be present in the moment. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, I want to apologize for the nasalness of my voice and possibly the sniffles that I'm gonna have throughout this video. So yeah, if you want to see how we covered up all this sickness, then just keep on watching. Okay, so to get started, we are going to actually start with skincare because skincare, in my opinion, is the most important thing that you can do for your skin to make it look as perfect as possible. So me personally, I have oily skin. My skin is kind of like trying to rejuvenate itself. So first I go in with the glycolic acid toner by Mario Badescu, and it looks like this. I take this on a cotton pad and I wipe it all over my face, and what this does is it doubles as an exfoliator as well as a cleanser type thing. So like basically it's going to exfoliate the skin, and then it's also going to draw out any of the impurities that you have left over from like washing your face. So I really like this stuff, and this is something that I use every single day. Okay, so next we're going to go in with a moisturizer, and me personally, I like a gel moisturizer. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost gel cream, or gel moisturizer, no, gel cream. And it looks like this, and I use this because as soon as you basically put it on your face and you rub it in, it just soaks into the skin. So I use this every single day, morning and night. And then just for an extra hydration boost, I do go in with the Rose Hips Nourishing Seed Oil by Mario Badescu. I'm kind of in love with this skincare brand, if you can't tell. It's really more on the affordable side as far as the other skincare brands that I know of. So I just dot this on my forehead, I dot it on my cheeks, and then rub it in. And this is just gonna act as like a second layer of moisture on your skin. This is also going to help your foundation glide on a lot smoother. And then sometimes I go in with my vitamin C serum. This is also by Mario Badescu. I usually use this at nighttime though. This is gonna help with like uneven skin tone and like acne scarring and stuff like that. This is more of like a night serum, but sometimes when I'm feeling like I may need it, I'll put this on top. So next I'm going to start on the priming of the skin. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani Prime Shield. This is mattifying, and it's good for oily skin. So I actually don't take this all around my face though. I just put like a little dollop like that on my finger, and I'll kind of like warm it up with my fingers, and I'll take it on the outer portion of my face and then right there on the chin. And on the inner portions of my face, I'm going to go in with the NYX Pore Filler Primer. This is more of a super thick consistency rather than that primer that I just put on by Milani. That was more of a silicone kind of consistency. This is really, really thick. And what this is going to do is obviously what it says is blur the pores, fill in the pores. So if you can see right here on my face, I have really, really enlarged pores right here on my face. I kind of use this to kind of fill those places in and make the texture less noticeable on my skin. So next we're going to go in with foundation, and if you guys have watched my past few videos, you know that I have been using the same foundation and I've honestly fell in love with it. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation, and this is in the shade F8. I love this foundation because it's really, really full coverage, and I'm a full coverage queen. Like, I love everything to be covered up. I don't want any discoloration. Like, we are not natural here. So this is the kind of foundation that I love, but you could also go in with like a BB cream or There is the Matte and Poreless foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is more of like a medium coverage, so you can like build it up to the coverage that you want. You can go on with one layer, and if it's too light of a coverage for you, then you can build up, or you can just leave it how it is and it'll work just as fine. It's all depending on what you want with your skin and what you think looks cakey and what you think looks good on your skin, so just take that into consideration. But this is what I like and what I like to use, so that's what we're going to use today. What I do with this is I just take this big doe foot applicator and I just dot it around. I usually do like one pump per side because I am known to go in with too much and then have to like finesse it later. So we're not gonna do that today. Okay, now I'm going to go in and add more where I feel like I need more coverage. It's not necessarily covering up my nose. You can still see like the blemishes on my nose. Kind of like in the top parts of my forehead really are not being covered up. I have a little acne going on up there because I stopped doing my skincare regimen for about 3 days and my skin was like so inflamed and so terrible looking. It was insane. So I'm going to go back and cover those areas up. And then, same brand, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. And I re-upped on my shade C6 because your girl was running out, okay? And it's her favorite shade, so she had to go get some more. But this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C6. And I use this to highlight my under eyes and the middle parts of my face. Okay, so I put it underneath my eyes, obviously, in the middle of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, right on the cupid's bow, right on the chin, and right underneath the corners of the mouth. This is just going to give it a brightening effect and make it pop more. And I put it on my eyelids just because I also double this as a primer. And it works well for me, so I don't have to go out and buy that extra product when I could just use my concealer, you know what I mean? I'm going to blend it out with my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Okay, now that I have all blended out, I'm going to blend out my eyes. But I did want to pause and say that as soon as I get done blending my eyes out, since I have these creases in my eyes, I have like kind of a hooded eye. As soon as I blend it out, I go in with powder because otherwise I'm going to get creases in my eye and it's going to be... The eyeshadow is not going to go on as smooth because you have like caked up concealer bunched up. Excuse me, I'm a little... I'm a little sick, okay? So if something's off with me, that's why. I'm trying to like boost myself up. Your girl's real sick. But anyway, so, and then also right here with my smile lines, I tend to get creases really fast there as well. So I tend to powder that a lot more also around my nose here. So just a heads up, as soon as we do this, I'm going straight in with powder. For my face, I'm using the shade Light Medium. Just because I want the outer parts of my face to be a little bit darker and the inner parts of my face to be brightened. So I'm going to take this on a small fluffy brush and it looks like this. This is from a Wet n Wild holiday collection. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go around the areas that we applied the concealer to give it that brightening effect. And this is just going to kind of set everything in place and make it look more flawless, and it's not going to budge throughout the day. So this is going to make it very long wearing as well. Okay, as you can see, we're looking really bright in the center. Now I'm going to go in with this medium shade. This is going to be a powder that is more closely matched to your foundation shade or your skin color. This is just to set down the foundation, so you don't want to make it too much of a color difference. Otherwise, it's going to be an issue. I'm actually applying this with a blush brush. Oh my god, I can never say that word. Oh my god. This is actually a blush. Ugh. See? What is the issue? A blush brush. Because I already have another brush that I use as a blush brush. See, I said it perfectly that time. I feel like this one doesn't get enough use, so I kind of like doubled it as a powder brush so that I can get more use out of it, because it was kind of just like sitting in my collection and I didn't use it ever. Nobody wants to be lonely, you know, so we've added her in somewhere. So now for contour, this is something that was gifted to me. I actually haven't bought this myself because it is rather expensive. But this is the Anastasia contour kit, and I believe this is the light palette if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't have the name on here. I believe it rubbed off a long time ago. I'm going to go in with this shade right here to bronze up my skin, and I'm going to also mix it in with this just a tad bit, just because I am a little bit darker right now. I self-tanned. You can't tell because your girl still has a red chest, but I promise I self-tanned. So we're going to mix those two. We're going to bronze up the face and put a little color back into our skin. So what I do is I basically apply it in a C motion or a 3 motion, whichever one I'm feeling that day. I think today we're going to do a 3 type of a motion. We're going to start up here at the temples and just kind of press that in. And the key to everything that we've done so far and everything that we will do and everything that is makeup all together is to blend. And I cannot stress this enough. Eyeshadow, face, bronzer, concealer, foundation, eyebrows. It does not matter as long as you are blending it out. You won't have anything caking up, you won't have anything patchy. So just make sure that you're constantly blending everything out until it's seamless, until there are no harsh edges, until there are no patchy spots where there's no pigment. Just make sure that you're blending everything out. That is the key to everything. And I'm gonna stop rambling now, but you get it. You get it. So we've started up here at the temple. You kind of tap it in, kind of stipple it on your face. And then when you have applied the product to where you want the actual pigment to be placed, then you go in and blend it out. So like right here, I'm just gonna tap it on just like this. And then once I have it placed down where I want it, I'm gonna go in and blend. And this is gonna help with the product actually applying to the face. Because sometimes you run into the issue where you're applying product to your face and you put too much on and you can't blend it out. So therefore you're gonna have a patchy spot up here, down here, right there, like random places. Whereas when you do this kind of a motion, you make sure that the, I would say, even amount of pigment gets placed, and then you're blending it out to kind of like feather it out in a way to where it looks more airbrushed. You can do it another way if you want to. This is just what works for me. So right now I'm just going to blend it out on my cheeks, and I'm kind of bringing it up kind of like a blush, kind of stopping right here. And that's just going to bring a little warmth back into my skin and make it look really airbrushed. And then when you've laid it down and you blended it all out, just make sure that you go back to those edges. See where the highlighter meets the bronzer? You're just going to take your brush and lightly go over those edges and kind of blend them out, making sure that there's no harshness there. And then do the same thing down here, just kind of like lightly dust over it. And then you can take the excess and go underneath the chin, not picking up any more product, just kind of wiping the excess down there. And that's going to create the 3 motion that I was talking about. So you're going to go here and here. Okay, so now we're going to go in with highlight now that we are bronzed and golden. The Makeup Revolution SophX highlighter palette, and I use this every single day, and I don't know if you can tell, but your girl has a favorite shade. Like, this is the shade that I use every single day, and I use it on my eyes, I use it on my brow bone, I use it in my face, I use it on my cupid's bow, I use it on my nose. I pretty much apply this everywhere, so there's that. So anyways, I'm going to take this shade right here with a Morphe, Morphe M510, and I'm going to take this really fluffy brush and apply it on my cheeks. And always the gold shade, always. I'm going to apply it right there on the high point of my cheek. You see where this is kind of like swooped in, it kind of like swoops up right here, and then right here is where the flat part of my under eye and my cheek meet. That is the high point of the cheek, and that's where I'm applying the most highlighter, because I want it to give like a lifted kind of effect, and I want it to look like my cheekbones are very prominent, and it just kind of beams off the face when you put it there. And then also I like to apply it right above the brow bone right here, just kind of sweep it back and forth. And that way when you look to the side, it's like, boom, girl. She highlighted and she's there. Like, I like a really blinding highlight, but they do have subtle highlights in this palette too. So like if you were looking for a more subtle highlight, this would be something that you could build up with. So you could take it and you can kind of go a little lightly, and then if you don't like how pigmented it is, you can go in with another coat and you can build it up to as pigmented as you want it to be. That's not me, but it's not for everybody, and I get that. So if you like that, then you could totally do that. This palette is pretty versatile. So I went ahead and I did my nose contour off camera just because that takes a lot of explaining, and I'm not necessarily ready to go down that path, just because I haven't necessarily perfected it. I just kind of like do what it does, you know, and it comes out different every day. So we're not going to go there. But I did want to mention that I took a little pencil brush like this on the end right here. Sorry, it looks like this. And I dug it in this highlighter shade that I've used, and I kind of just like dipped it on the top of my nose, and then I just kind of took it and rubbed it right where the bridge starts on my nose, and that just kind of gives that little sweep effect. Then I also took it and I put it right there on the Cupid's bow just because I'm extra. You really don't have to do that. I do that. You don't have to. Trust me. I know that it's too much. I get it. So for blush today, we're going to be using the Milani powder blush. This is in the shade Tea Rose. I'm not sure if they sell this anymore. I actually got this about a year ago. So please don't get mad at me if they don't have this. But this is a really, really pretty shade. And if I'm not using my blush palette, then I'm using this. And I just use a very tapered, why can't I say brush today? What the hell? I'm going to be using a small tapered brush for this because I do not like to apply a lot of product. I like my blush to be like, just like a little flush on the cheeks, you know? Like I don't want it to be like, boom, she's got blush on. So I just take it and I kind of like press it in just a little bit, tap off the excess, make sure that there's not like a heavy amount of product on there. And then I just take it on the apples of my cheeks and I kind of just like, boom. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a very light amount of blush. Like I said, I do not like too much, so I'll usually either use that shade, I'll use more of like an orangey tone or like a corally shade, just because those shades suit my skin tone, I feel, in the best way possible. So if I am wearing blush, it's because of that, or I just mix in an orange type of a, why can't I say the word today? What is wrong? Blush. Orange blush. Okay, so now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do brows and eyes, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back in full glam, and I changed shirts just because, like, we need to feel the mood, you know? But I did want to finish it off with a setting spray, and this is, I mean, half my collection is really Makeup Revolution, but Makeup Revolution Illuminating Pro Fix Spray. It's got, like, little, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like glitter, but it's like a sparkly, I don't know what to call it, but it's not like glitter on your face. It's just got like a little bitty chunks of like sparkliness. I don't know. And there we go. Now I'm just going to add a little highlight to the brow bone and we are done. Sorry about my blotchy chest. I literally cannot help it, you guys. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, we all know that Taylor's chest is blotchy and red like 99% of the time. Let's be honest. Alrighty, well that is it for this video. If you guys like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're gonna do this foundation routine, then please comment below and let me know how it went for you. I know we all have different skin types, we all have different skin tones, we all like to blend things a different way, apply things different ways, so let me know how you guys' looks turn out, and I would love to see them. Send them to me, you know? Maybe we could like take a little sister selfie. Oh my god, that was cringy. Yeah, so thank you for coming and watching this video and hanging out with me, you know? If you're a lingerer, go ahead and subscribe. If you are subscribed, then I appreciate you. Like, girl, we are best friends now. Like, I don't think you understand, but we are best friends. But yeah, thank you. I mean, I know that I'm really sick and probably very nasally and couldn't even keep the foundation on my nose because I'm so sick, but I appreciate you guys being here anyways. You know, this is what makes me happy, and when I put on makeup I feel so much better. I want to thank you guys again for being here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!